Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Special Teams Sunday. So every Sunday we get together and we have a look at some of the best unofficial teams in Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl, best game out there. Board game, miniature game. So that means there's a whole load of unexplored space. Now, as the game stands, you've got 29 teams, 27 from Games Workshop and 2 very established ones from the NAF. But there's more to it. So what we're doing today is we're carrying on with our My Dugout app series. So the My Dugout app is an app that Games Workshop dropped at the beginning of the 2016 re-release, and within it were 4 unique teams that had never been seen before. We had the team that basically became Imperial Nobility. We've had a look at the Skaven team, the Clan Pestilence team. We've had a look at the Savage Orc team, and now we're going to have a look at the last team, which is the Slayer Hold team. Now, bearing in mind that the whole princeling idea kind of merged with Bretonnians and became the Imperial Nobility, I've got a sneaky feeling that having a look at some of these teams could help kind of figure out where Games Workshop's going to take the team. And if not, they're just some really cool things to get to the pitch. Now, these rules are for the 2016 edition, but that's okay. So there'll be no past stats within these, but it's a dwarf team anyway. This is the Slayer Hold team. So basically, this is a team of Troll Slayers. Now, in this series, we've already had a look at the Fumble version of a Troll Slayer team. I had the pleasure of playing against it a couple of times. Thanks, Ian. And it's a really challenging team. This one, very similar style. So we've got 0 to 16 Beast Slayer Linemen. We've got 0 to 4 Troll Slayers. Now, those Troll Slayers are straight out of the Dwarf team. So if you run a Dwarf team and you enjoy Troll Slaying, this is definitely going to be an exciting team for you. We've got 0 to 2 Skaven Slayers, which are slightly downgraded, cheaper Troll Slayers. So if you can basically have access here to 0 to 6 Frenzy Troll Slayer-esque type players, which is a very cool twist. But this is where the roster absolutely shines, in my opinion. 0 to 2 Dragon Slayers. These are basically your dream Troll Slayer, okay? Deep into a league. How have they developed? What skills have they got? What stat ups have they got? This is them. And at 170k, they are the most expensive player, I think, in the game. Maybe the Bloodthirsters 180. But I tell you what, these guys versus Bloodthirsters, that would be a heck of a game. Now, you get 0 to 2 of them. They're strength 4, and they've got a ton of skills as well. The downside of this team, Linemen are 60k and your rerolls are 70. And with a bunch of cool positionals, you are going to struggle to start out with everything you want, which is really nice because actually you want to be able to buy and develop and have different rosters. So we're going to have a bit of a deeper look at each of these positionals, and then we're going to put together a team for you. So first up, let's have a look at the Lineman positional, the Beast Slayer Lineman. So these are 0 to 16, 60k, 6337, Dauntless and Thick Skull. So armor 7 is really low for any kind of dwarf player. That is basically the lowest armor for a dwarf, I think, in Blood Bowl. Now, you've got Thick Skull, so it's really more along the lines of armor 7.5, armor 8. We've seen how Thick Skull has played out in the 2020 edition with the Goblin Bruisers for the Black Orc team. Sorry, I thought I had some here, but I don't. It's just a Black Orc. It actually feels like armor 8. So these guys having Thick Skull are going to feel about as tough as a standard human lineman. Now, what this is, basically, is a Norse lineman. But instead of having block, they've got Dauntless. And instead of having armor 8, they've got... Well, no, they've got armor 7, haven't they? The Norse guys. But they've got that Thick Skull to make them tougher. Now, basically, you're paying 10k for Dauntless here. Actually, that's not fair. This is a Dauntless Thick Skull Hobgoblin for an extra 20k. Hobgoblins are brilliant players. Thralls are brilliant players. Chucking Dauntless and Thick Skull is going to keep them on the pitch way more often than you think. And that Dauntless is going to come in handy every now and again. It is more of an occasional skill. It's very much along the lines of just, it's going to give you angles sometimes that you wouldn't even consider. And because these are your linemen, you are going to be able to take these blocks. You're going to be able to just take a punt. Okay, right, maybe I'll roll a 4 and I can punch this Minotaur with 1 support and take him down. That is incredibly Slayer, okay? Dwarf Slayers are shamed dwarves. They shave their heads, they paint themselves, and they dye their hair orange to represent the fact that they are off, seeking a violent and glorious death. Dauntless, armor 7, definitely fulfills that. Alright, 0 to 4 Troll Slayers. What more could you want? General strength, agility and passing on a double, 90k, 4 of them. 4. Okay, 5 movement, strength 3, edge 2, and armor 8 with block, dauntless, frenzy, and thick skull. These guys are the troll slayers that you are used to seeing on the pitch. If, like me, running a dwarf team, you really wish you could have 4 of them, I'd happily trade a couple of blitzers for a couple of extra troll slayers. It would be less good, but it would be more fun. Now, this gives you that opportunity to run 4 of them. They are expensive at 90k, especially when your linemen are 60 and your rerolls are 70. But dude, at some point, you are going to be running 4 Troll Slayers as your linebackers. They start with block. Yes, they've got frenzy, but that's a great combo. These players in this game are going to be your linebackers. They're going to be your blitzers. They're going to be the ones that do the reliable blocking. Now, the cool thing is that the linemen of this team get general and strength. They can brew up some guard, and that's going to give you very quickly some beautifully opening turns, okay, where you are taking 4-die blocks with Troll Slayers. 4-die block with block and dauntless is going to be brilliant against almost any positional, any player, any strength. These Troll Slayers are going to be able to power them down. Now, general and strength for their advancement, mighty blow is just going to allow them to keep farming SPP, and that's going to give you more chance at rolling doubles to turn them into something really special. But quite frankly, when it comes to Troll Slayers in the 2016 edition, block, dauntless, frenzy, thick skull, mighty blow, piling on is just going to give you absolute player removal. If you're not running piling on, then actually there's a ton of different options that you can take for your slayers. One slayer with frenzy and tackle is going to make a brilliant safety, okay, and there's going to be nothing that's going to be able to not be 1 or 2 die blocked with tackle and frenzy. Going to be really good for you. So slayers become the core of this team, which makes sense because it's a slayer hold. And over time, you develop them up to just be absolute player removal. Hopefully, you can start mapping out in your mind, okay, I've got some linemen with guard, I've got Troll Slayers with Frenzy, Mighty Blow. I'm going to have 4 of them. And then there's some other positionals to bear in mind as well. And the first of them are the Skaven Slayers. So these are 70k, 5, 3, 2, 8, same as the Troll Slayers. Break, tackle, frenzy, nerves of steel, and thick skull. A really interesting combination of skills for this player. No block, alright, so they're 70k and no block. This gives you a really interesting angle when it comes to team building. You can have, basically, 3 Slayers or 3 Troll Slayers or 2 Troll Slayers and 2 Skaven Slayers as well. It depends how much frenzy you want to take. Now, I would rather lean on the Troll Slayers as much as possible because they start with block, and that is going to help you on offense and defense. These guys here, break tackle, is all that's doing is taking that edge 2 and giving you edge 3. That's just boosting them up to normal once per turn. It's okay. Could be useful if they roll a random stat up and they do become strength 4. That's quite cool, but realistically not something you want to brew them up for. Nerves of Steel would be okay if they had average agility. So it's a really strange positional. I like Nerves of Steel combined with Frenzy on the Savage Orc team. That made a lot of sense, okay? That guy's going to be in the thick of it and it's just not going to care. This guy is going to be in the thick of it, he's not going to tear. But the whole idea is that you can hand off 4+ forever, and then he's got break tackle to take a 3+ dodge out into the open. It's alright, but I think realistically what this is a junior Troll Slayer. So you get 4 Slayers, then you pick up some Skaven Slayers, and realistically, once they've got block, you've got number 5 and number 6 as far as slaying things goes. But these guys are just awesome. Right, general strength, AP, 0 to 2, Dragon Slayers. 170k means that these are incredibly expensive, but they're just so cool. Okay, movement 5, strength 4, edge 3, armor 9. They are beasts of slayers, okay? I'm surprised they've got agility 3 here. Interesting one. I assumed they'd be 4/2s, but actually strength 4, edge 3 means that these guys are some of the best players on the team. Movement 5 is a little bit weak, but that is fine when you also get block and juggernaut and dauntless and stand firm and thick skull. When I talked earlier about having these guys basically perform the function of a very cool leveled up Troll Slayer, you've got it here. You've got a strength up, you've got juggernaut, you've got stand firm to keep you safe. And the skill that these guys are missing is frenzy, which is brilliant. You've got Troll Slayers on this team to be your frenzy people. Your Dragon Slayers can just be your big bruisers. They can be your big guys on the line. They're strength 4 block to start with. They've got dauntless, so they can go toe-to-toe with a big guy on the line if you need to. They've got jugs and stand firm, so if you need to attack a cage or protect a cage, they've got those 2 starting skills. 170k is a seriously big whack, but these guys are incredibly malleable. You can chuck break tackle on them and they're going to be 2+ into the open. You can, and combined with Juggernaut means that they are a very effective blitzers at that point. And you can also just give a general skill. You can give them Sure Hands and make them your main ball carrier. You can give them Mighty Blow and start deleting players. Mighty Blow Frenzy on a Dragon Slayer is going to give you a heck of a Troll Slayer punch. But quite frankly, they can just take Break Tackle Sure Hands, and then you've got a 2+ into the open Blitzer, who's going to be picking up the ball on a 3++. The Dragon Slayers are everything to this team. They are super expensive, and realistically you don't need them, but they are just going to be your superstars, and that alone I think is just a really exciting element of this team. So let's look at a build for this team. So I put together a roster at TV 1000. So 1 million all in. We've got 7 Linemen, 3 Troll Slayers, 1 Dragon Slayer, and 2 rerolls. As you can tell, you are having to sacrifice a lot to get those players in. Now what you can do is drop the Dragon Slayer, take Troll Slayer number 4 and reroll number 3. But the Dragon Slayer is just too tempting to have that one piece that can just stand behind the line, blitz whoever you want, whenever you want, with all the skills that you want. 3 Troll Slayers are going to be able to work in conjunction with those linemen to just murder stuff, and you've got that Slayer with that Dragon Slayer with Edge 3, along with all of your linemen at Edge 3 as well. So when it comes to moving the ball, you're going to be just fine. You've got here 7 linemen that can dual wield both the angle of supporting and being your ball carrier. And you've got that Dragon Slayer who can take the role of being your primary blitzer, basically your primary blocker, or be your ball carrier. Quite frankly, a Dragon Slayer with Juggernaut block and strength 4 is going to be incredibly difficult to stop. And you've still got basically 7 boosted Hobgoblins there on the roster as well. Now 2 rerolls isn't very much, but your main guys who've got Frenzy are going to have block, so you're probably going to be okay. What it does mean is that when it comes to maneuvering the ball, you're going to be doing it vanilla, but you're Edge 3 as well. So again, you're probably going to be okay. You'll have to play a bit tight with this with 2 rerolls, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. But like I said, you can take 4 Slayers and no Dragon Slayers with a 3rd reroll if you want to play the long game to save cash overall. But quite frankly, I'm very happy with this starting roster, and I'd rather have all that Slayer on the pitch to start leveling them up, getting that Mighty Blow, getting that delete all your players element to it, and save up for rerolls. You might lose a lineman here and now, but actually a vanilla lineman is going to do the same thing as a standard lineman. You're not going to have to rely on them too much. Skills wise, what you can do is, because these linemen are Edge 3, Sure Hands, or you can go the block guard route. Guard is going to help your Troll Slayers make better frenzy blocks. Block is going to keep them alive on the line and make them good defenders, and that Sure Hands is going to mean you are boosted when it comes to ball carrying. The Troll Slayers, Mighty Blow, Tackle, Guard. It's really simple with these guys. They are there to work in concert with other people and just throw a ton of block dice and just try to murder things. The more they kill, the better at killing they become. The better at killing they become, the more SPP they get. And then the better at killing they become. So Troll Slayer is pretty sweet. Dragon Slayer, Mighty Blow, Frenzy, Sure Hands if you want it. You can build your Dragon Slayer however you want, but Frenzy or Mighty Blow are going to be great on this guy because he starts out with block and strength 4. He's already 2-die blocking everybody all day long, basically. I love it. 2 rerolls, like I said, gonna bring some challenges every now and again when it comes to maneuvering the ball, but your Troll Slayers have got block, your Dragon Slayers got block. The guys you are going to be punching with and wanting it to work are going to have block. So those 2 rerolls you can save for handling the ball, that's going to be fine. So when it comes for miniatures for this team, there's a ton of cool Slayer models out there. You've probably got some already. Now my advice would be to pick up 1 box of this, which is the Fire Slayers from Age of Sigmar. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dudes in there, which covers your linemen and potentially some of your others. Now with your Troll Slayers, what I would like to do would be to use Troll Slayers from the Dwarf box. Those Troll Slayers are going to be bigger because the Blood Bowl stuff is ever so slightly larger than those than the Age of Sigmar models. So what you can do is use those Slayers from your Blood Bowl team as your Dragon Slayers, as your strength 4 pieces, because they are going to be bigger. Now when it comes to the Troll Slayers and the Skaven Slayers and your Beast Slayers, you use these guys and you color code them. There's going to be some alternative parts in this box. You should be able to differentiate them, but where they've got the crests, chuck a stripe in, chuck a coloured stripe in. If you've played with or against the Human Nobility team, you'll know the importance of labelling your players very cleanly. 1 box of these guys gives you 10 pieces. 1 box of Blood Bowl Dwarves gives you a Blood Bowl Dwarf team and 2 big Slayers. So if we look at the roster we've just put together, you're going to need to identify 3 of these guys as Troll Slayers, and you take 1 of the Troll Slayers from the Blood Bowl team, make it your Giant Slayer, and you have a team. And then when Games Workshop releases a Frenzy heavy team, which they will, you'll be ready to go. And the other cool thing is, because of those differentiated positionals, you can use this as a frenzy heavy team right now. You can take this and run Demons of Khorne. Now when it comes to running a Bloodthirster, you have to be creative, but man, just what a great way to get a death roll to the pitch in a way that you're going to actually be able to use it. All your main dudes have got frenzy. You've got a couple of things, you've got good blitzing skills. This is going to be a really useful multi-purpose team. You can run them as Norse, you can run them as Khorne, and you can run them as a Slayer team. And that is just a really great modelling opportunity. And I think that's the greatest thing about looking at Special Teams Sunday, is looking at a lot of the builds. You can build them and use them in a regular event, as well as just being able to bust them out when you want to try some different rules. And you should try different rules, because more Blood Bowl is more better. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Do let me know in the comments what you think of this team, whether we'll see a Slayer team from Games Workshop. I love Slayers. I think it's cool. I love Frenzy. I think it's cool. I think it's a very different way to play the game, and I really hope we see something like this from Games Workshop. I'm very excited to see what their team is going to be next. I don't think it's going to be Slayers. I think it's going to be Khorne. So, hey, there's another way to get this team to the pitch. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. Thank you ever so much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy Frenzy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content. We get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.